Hello, welcome to Angels Golfing Life. Today, I'm going to apologise before we even start. I'm so nervous and excited because Nick from Golf Ball Addicts joins us. For those of you that don't know Nick is one of the reasons behind my channel. If you're interested in golf balls and how they can help you, and trust me, they can, you need to subscribe to Nick's channel. He will give you the most accurate, honest, and useful golf ball information for your game than anyone else on YouTube. So thank you, Nick, for joining me. Yeah, we're gonna have a chat, Nick. But the first thing I want to find out about is, how did Golf Ball Addict start? What triggered you?
Yeah. Well, first of all, glad to be here. Thank you very much. I'm excited for
Excellent.
this. Excited. Love the channel as well. And, keep grinding is all I can say because you're off to a great start. As far as how I started my channel, it really came down to in 2020, I played golf my entire life on and off. And I ended up moving down to Florida from Missouri. So from Midwest, weather's garbage for 6 months out of the year. It's just cloudy and nasty. Moved to Florida. It's all sunshiny. And I picked the game back up and started playing it pretty regularly. And the first thing is, I'm a tinker. So I worked at Best Buy for a long time, electronics store. So I was always a guy that tried products, reviewed products. I went to movies all the time and reviewed movies. I've always been a guy that likes to review stuff. So when I went to shop for golf balls, I thought, which one is going to be right for me? Because you go to Walmart or whatever store, there's all this whole wall of them. And I'm like, okay. So I went to YouTube and nobody was reviewing anything except the Pro V1 and the Callaway Chrome Soft or whatever, And I mean, there was basically nobody reviewing any two-piece ball. And if you did find somebody in the underground that had like 30 views or whatever, the review was pretty basic. They would go to a course and they would hit the ball and they'd turn to the camera and they'd go, yeah, that felt good. And then they go to their next shot and they hit it and they turn and go, yeah, that one felt good. But that doesn't tell me anything. Like, I wanted numbers. I'm a numbers guy. I want, you have to tell me, like, why is this golf ball better than this one? I want it. And so I was, it only took like maybe 15, 20 minutes of kind of just plotting out the channel. Like, what if I did it this way? And so I just started doing it. And sure enough, there was obviously a market for it, because I wasn't the only one that had been wondering, well, what's the Wilson Boost like? Or what's the Precept Laddie like? Because immediately the channel picked up this underground audience where they were coming in, I didn't take off overnight. I wasn't like a phenomenon, but there was immediately this community that came together that was like, man, we've been waiting on somebody to do this. Like, I've been playing this ball for years. Nobody will review it. And sure enough, man, 6 years later of just finding that philosophy of testing every single golf ball that I can get my hands on, that's where we're at, So it's been a blessing.
It's one of my favourite things about your channel is that get every single golf ball that you can get your hands on. Now, people that have watched my channel, and if you've watched my channel, you'd have seen I've fallen in love with seed. I just have the seed 15, won my winter challenge. I've now upgraded to the seed 05 because I can hit them nicer and I can actually get a bit of spin and whatnot.
Yeah.
But without your channel, I wouldn't have known who Seed were.
Yeah.
And then I know recently on your channel, Tiger Cliff, I found out about them, and Snyder, and I prefer that because, well, first thing is cost, Nick. Let's be honest. Yeah. So someone like you telling me, the seed ball can do what the Titleist ball does, but it's going to cost you less than half the price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's huge. Absolutely. Yeah. There's so many golf balls that, you have to test them all, because you never know when you're going to find a diamond in the rough. And that's part of the channel that a lot of people don't enjoy. And especially as I've gotten bigger, I know there's a lot of people that have been kind of pushing back, like, man, don't waste your time on, these Walmart balls. And I'm like, man, that's the reason the channel was invented. And I get it, because, a lot of people don't care to see it. A lot of people don't want to see it. But the thing is that, you don't discover the diamonds in the rough without testing those, right? Like I've tested, you know, probably 5 nitro balls, and 4 of them are so garbage I didn't even bother to release, you know, the testing of them because they were so poor. But then I tested the Nitro Ultimate Distance, and you know what? It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. It actually works for some people, and it's $8 a dozen, right? But I had to test 5 models to find one that's just okay. That'll work. You know, if you're at Walmart and you're in a pinch, sure. Same thing with, I mean, you could go any direct-to-consumer brand, right? I have to test the Bigas. I have to test the big crushers. That way I can find the Tiger Cliffs. And that's what I love about it, because, you know, when you do find that diamond in the rough where now all of a sudden you found your gamer ball and you've shaved strokes and you're paying a third of what you were paying, it's a fantastic feeling. It really is.
Yeah, 100%. And that, so whenever you come out with a ball, obviously I subscribe to you and your videos come out, and whenever a ball comes out that I've never heard of, with all due respect to the big boys, and the big boys, listen, I'm not disrespecting any of them, but I'm more excited when you say, for example, we're going to review the Piss Missile. I'm like, oh my God, what is that, right? And I'm more excited about that video than we're going to review the Pro V1. And I use that because that is, you know, that's the go-to ball, isn't it? So yeah, I'll get more excited with that. One of my questions, and I'm sorry if I keep on looking down here, but I've written a few notes.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
One of my questions is, how many balls do you reckon you have reviewed, Nick, in total?
I kept track at one time. I think it's over 300. I think it's over 300. I know it's over. I mean, I quit counting at 2. So I know it's over 200, but I want to say it's over 300 at this point. Now, I've reviewed some of the same golf balls in different years. So like your 22 Chrome Soft, your 24 Chrome Soft. Yeah. But as far as just different models in general, I mean, yeah, it's well over 250, I know. Because on the channel, I mean, heck, just last year alone, I did 150. And that was on just last year season. So, I mean, it's got to be a lot.
For those of you that don't know, Nick reviews the balls and honestly, go and have a look if you haven't. But he reviews the balls and then he collects all the data and he gives this away for free, which I think is amazing, Nick. And I've got it downloaded and I'll keep on getting. Awesome. He puts it all on this Excel sheet, and then at the end of the year, he actually does the top 100, which this Christmas I loved it, Nick. I was like, come on, mate. It's been 3 days since you released your last one, because Nick does 100 to 90, 90 to 80, so on and so on and so on. And waiting them 2 or 3 days for the next episode was like, you know, a cliffhanger on when my wife's watching a soap. She can't wait till the next day to find out. It's like that.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, that's awesome.
I love it. But here's a question, because you've just mentioned it. How much difference is there between, I don't know, a Callaway Super Soft? Is it the Callaway Super Soft? They're soft. Yeah, it's Super Soft, isn't it?
The 2-piece?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2-piece. Yeah.
How much difference is there between 2025 season and 2026 season? Or is it just different boxing?
No. Well, so here's what's crazy is that golf ball companies can change what a golf ball is at any time. As far as having the box, the 24 model, the 26 model, the 28 model, whatever, that's more of a marketing thing. And it's more for them more than it is for us as golfers. You know, that's why they really don't change the outer design that much. They just do it more for the marketing purposes. That way they have different seasons. But there's been several cases where I've seen a golf ball, you know, they come out with a new model in 24. In 25, it's the same box, it's the same design, it's the same alignment tool, but they've changed how they make it. And it's pretty common because golf ball makers, you know, it's just like anything else. If you come out with a golf ball and it's brand new and you start getting feedback on it and everyone's like, we hate it, like the cover, you know, the durability is terrible. Well, they're not, like, TaylorMade's not going to I'm just going to use TaylorMade as an example. TaylorMade's not going to let that go for 2 years with a bad durability. They're going to fix it, right? They're going to try to fix it and change the cover if they can, but they don't update the box. They don't update the marketing. They just fix the problem. And a lot of the time that, you know, is the process in which it's made, or, you know, like Strixon changed to a biomass cover. Like, there's a lot of different ways you can go about it. But a lot of people, and I've gotten this for years, and for years I didn't even know how to handle the criticism because I didn't know. But I would test a golf ball one year And then it's the same model supposedly, but I test it the next year and it doesn't do as well. And I thought, well, you know, it's a human element, sure. And that's possible. But a lot of the time they just change the golf ball and they just don't tell you. And so it changes all the time. Like companies are trying to cut cost. They're trying to experiment, proprietary blends. It's really confusing. I actually talked to someone about this the other day, and I said, I almost prefer the direct-to-consumer method, because at least when direct-to-consumers go out and they go to a factory and they get the golf ball, it stays the same. Like it stays the same because they're not wanting to change it. They don't care what they're just a direct-to-consumer. They're just trying to get the sales. They're trying to get the ball out right. They don't care. But like big companies are always tinkering because they want to make sure if there's a problem, we need to fix that. We need to correct it now. So yeah, it could be months. You could play the same golf ball all year long and get 3 or 4 variations of it, to be honest. They might be minor, but still variations.
But I think what most golfers of my standard, and my handicap's never been low, I'm going to show off. So 16 and a half.
Hey, okay.
So it's never been lower. But what people, the general people not like me and you who are on YouTube and studying and whatever, the general public don't really understand the difference a little mantle layer can make, or dimples, or the cover, and when I started, I thought it was rubbish. I thought this what? I'll be honest. I thought it can't make. And then I started playing, and then I remember I played the Pro V1. I think it was the 3rd ball I tried for the channel, or the 4th ball, and I couldn't do anything with it. I literally couldn't get it off the ground. And I was like,
it's very low launching. Yeah, for sure.
I was like, what is going on? And I scored something like 16 over. Oh, by the way, I play on a short 9 par 3. So, but when I say 60, yeah, okay. But, and I scored 6, and I was like, this is the Pro V1. I was expecting to birdie every hole, because you do, right? Because you speak to everyone, and it's like, oh, it's a Pro V1. But I've learned that, and sometimes I play a ball, and I don't want to give too much away, but I know Tiger Cliff, you giving them glowing reviews. So I've reviewed the Tiger Cliffs. The videos haven't come out, so I'm not going to say which one it is. But I played a ball that I thought I weren't going to get on with.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
Mm-hmm. So
I played it again just to make sure, off video. And it was just as amazing as the on video. So, yeah, and it's, which brings me on to your fitting. For those that you don't know, and that haven't watched Nick provides this service, which is a 15-minute Teams conversation where
it's more like 30. I mean, I put 15, but they're in 30 minutes. I mean, there are some people I've talked to for 30 minutes, and there's some people I've talked to for an hour. It just depends on how long it takes or how fun the conversation is. But yeah, it's about $15 for anywhere between 15 minutes and an hour. And, it's a Google chat, just like how we're doing here, basically. And, it's really about I ask a few questions about your game. A lot of people ask and say, like, well, what do I need to know? Well, you don't have to know anything. You can just come on there and just tell me about your game and I can figure it out. But the main thing I try to do is figure out, okay, where are you missing your strokes? What have you been playing that you like? What have you been playing you don't like? Just simple questions. And then I take that information and plug it into the same spreadsheet that I offer for free, and allow it just to kind of say, this is what I would recommend. Like, there's some people who, hey, I need distance. Okay, well, spin's not as important. We're going to focus on distance. Let's go to the longest 7 irons I have. Okay, have you tried any of these? Oh, you haven't tried this one? Well, this is one of my favorites. You got to try it. And I usually get about 4 or 5 recommendations per person. And most of the time they're ones people have never heard of, right? Because most people have tried your main AAA balls. So I try to make it unique, ones you haven't tried. And so far, everyone's really been liking it. I've enjoyed it, getting to talk to people, and I think a lot of people really appreciate the one-on-one. And then also, I will admit there are people as well, kind of like yourself, that are just like, honestly, I paid $15 just to talk to you. Like, I just say, I love the channel and I just wanted to pay to talk to you. I don't care what comes out of it. So either way, it's been awesome. And yeah, it's really important because that's what I push on the channel is fitting. I still get the occasional person who will come to the channel and they'll leave a nasty comment or whatever because they just don't know. But they don't understand that I'm not here to review balls and tell you if they're good or bad. I'm here to tell you what type of ball they are. Are they low launch? Are they high spin? Are they low spin? Is this for a low handicapper? Is this for a high handicapper? Because let me tell you something. What the back of that box says, it might as well have been written by a generic AI. It just, I mean, it doesn't, I mean, heck, let's be honest. How many times, and you know this because you watch a channel, how many times recently have I gotten wrong that a golf ball is urethane or not urethane because the company themselves got it wrong? Meyer, for example, the grocery store, their golf ball on the website says ionomer because AI wrote it. I found that out. AI wrote the page or whatever. But if you look on the box in the pictures on the same one, it says urethane. So even they can't get that right. And so it's like, you can't trust what's on the box. You kind of just have to. And so that's why the testing data is so important, because I can use it to say, oh, you want a low launching ball. I mean, let's look at the AVX, right? AVX is always advertised as, you know, low launch, penetrating, low spin. It's one of the highest spinning, highest launching balls I've tested all year. You know, so it's like I preferred that over just reading the box. And so, yeah, for sure.
That brings me back to the Tiger Woods thing. You know, what they were telling me, or what it said on the box, was for my game. Oh, okay, so and they even got a little fitting tool that you go in their website and you fill in the fitting tool, and bosh, this is your ball. And I'm like, okay. So I played the ball they recommended, but then I played all balls in the simulator, and one of them was like up in the air, straight, didn't hurt when I mishit it. I was like, hold up a minute. So then the next day I videoed the ball that was good in the simulator, and you're exactly right. I don't know if these marketing people, if they're more marketing experts or golf ball experts. I'm guessing the former. I really am, because it's just a bit weird. Right. If you're happy, Nick, what we'll do is we'll pause now, and then we'll start again and do one more on Nick's views on general stuff. You know, we've discussed it, but I really like Nick's outlook in golf. So we're going to stop, and then in the next episode, we'll call it, for want of a better word, we'll delve into some of Nick's views on golf.
Yeah, that's up to you. If you want to stop it and do that, you can. I mean, we're only, I think, at 26 minutes for your side. So, I mean, we still got time. And I mean, I think we still got, we still got time even on that end. So if you have any additional questions or whatever, you can hit me with them.
I've got one more that.
Yeah, hit me with them, man. We got time. Don't rush yourself.
All right. And I know what your answer is going to be, because I watch you, but others don't. What would you say is the worst ball that you've come across? Well, I think I know what your answer is going to be.
I've had a few. You know, the Big Crusher I can't stand for a couple reasons. One, it's just a bad golf ball, but I hate the marketing behind it. It's like everything wrong with direct to consumer brands. Most people have probably never even heard of it, and that's kind of a good thing, I think. That's just my opinion. I tried the Nitro Pulsar Elite. That is a bad golf ball. There's nothing good about that golf ball. There's a lot of golf balls that I want to love, but you can't, because when you hit them, they get destroyed. You know, the Cut Blue could have been a top 5 golf ball, but every time you hit it, it's destroyed. Like, you hit it one time, it's gone. So it's like,
okay, I'll get them.
Yeah, that's more disappointing than anything. But yeah, no, I would say the one that's made me the maddest was probably the Big Crusher. The Rainmaker from Piss Missile was disappointing because of the lying and marketing. You hit it once and the cover's destroyed, and it's just garbage. So, I mean, it just across the board just didn't test well. So I hated that one. I'm sure there's more, but yeah, let me see. Actually, it's funny. I have my sheet here. If I actually can go, that's the 25. So
I'm going to name you one that I have been trolled on because I reviewed it. And that is Forgeway.
Yeah, see, I don't like to mention Forgeway anymore because I get so I've still every day, man, at least one person a day, I'm getting a comment. Hey, yeah, I got scammed too. It makes me, I'm almost ready just to shut off comments on that video. I mean, not because I don't want to know, but it just makes me so sick to my stomach to see so many people get just absolutely scammed that way.
I didn't get scammed, Nick. I didn't get signed up. I don't know if it's because I'm in the UK, but I didn't get signed up to any subscription or whatever they're doing. However, the ball. I mean, if we want to talk about marketing, my God, I think it was 67% straighter and or was it 67% less slice?
Reduces hooks and the AI was so bad because we're still in an era where AI is still, you can clearly tell it's AI. Like, I mean, it looks a lot better than it used to, but you can clearly tell. And I mean, you would see these guys like with these almost painted faces, and they're like, you know, like, oh, sir, hey, you know, can I talk to you for a second about this golf ball? Yes, that'd be fine, you know. And I mean, like, and it was just, the advertising was like, yeah, I get 30 yards more because I'm a senior and I'm playing a golf ball that's softer compression. And then it's the hardest golf ball you've ever hit. It's like, I mean, when I put the Forgeway in the compression tester, it was almost like Acme, like Bugs Bunny, where the spring came out and just, you know, because it was so firm. Like, it was just insane. And it's like, so your whole advertising shtick was, yeah, it's softer, it's for seniors. And then you made it firmer than a left dash, you know, firmer than a Sirlin 4-piece ball. Like, it's dumb.
I've been tempted to take the video down that I did. I'll be honest, because you know, I've had people messaging me privately, not just on the comments, really having a go at me for trying to scam them. And so I put a comment saying, listen, I haven't scammed anyone. It's not a good ball. And I had to try it because it was everywhere, right? Everywhere you logged in on Facebook, X, I was going to say Twitter, but X, wherever. And it's like, it's in your face. And this is, so I had to try it. But yeah, it was a massive disappointment. And it didn't even go on my my is like, no, it's not going on there.
I think I got away with it because when it was so funny when I first posted that Forgeway review, I was getting a lot of flack. And here's the other crazy thing: you want to know how good that marketing was? Which golf balls? That's a whole other conversation. Golf balls are 90% marketing, but their marketing was so good, and they spent so much on it that golf ball review is the most successful golf ball review I've ever had. As far as, you know, views wise, money wise, it absolutely is. It has like 40,000 views now. I can't believe it's ridiculous. But I was catching flack at the beginning because I didn't like the golf ball. I said, you know, I said, this is kind of everything we just talked about. I said, it's too firm. It's too this, it's too that. And there were people pushing back going, I don't know, man. I tried it and I didn't see any slices or hooks that day. I think you're full of crap. Well, then all of a sudden the scamming came out, and I saw the turn where all of a sudden it came into, hey man, you were right. I'm so sorry about that. But yeah, you were right. Don't play these balls. They're crap. And so I think I actually benefited from the fact that I didn't like it. And so I got the pushback initially, but afterward, now it's like, oh, this guy was right all along. And I think that helped me. But, you know, that's just why I just let the numbers do the talking, man.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe I bought them before they bought the subscription in. Maybe that's how I got away with not being scammed. But
could be, yeah.
But hey ho, I'm glad you mentioned it. I've got to ask you this, right? Because I'm jealous. I'll be honest. Where did you get your compression tester, Nick? I love it.
It was, you know, like a lot of things on the channel. I have an amazing community, and somebody sent it to me. People had been telling me, hey, for years, you need to buy a compression tester. I'd had people email me and stuff. And I said, oh yeah, how much are they? And they're like, oh, they're only like $300. And I said, I can't. I said, you know, on the budget right now I'm on, I can't seem to, you know, there's just no way. And finally, someone emails me one day, and I almost wish I could give them a shout out. Maybe I can, hold on. But he sends me an email, and he essentially says, hey man, I have an old one in my garage that has like never been used. It's a vintage one, but man, it is like never been even taken out of the protective sleeve it's in. He's like, do you know, want to do that? Yeah, Alex Tallarico. I'm sorry, I butchered that. But yeah, he sent pictures of it and everything, and like how shiny it was. And he said, I can send it to you for free. And I said, man, even if it's not the, you know, brand new or it's old or whatever, I said, that's going to help a ton. And that's probably been one of the best things ever sent to me, because I underestimated how much people would love the compression testing segment. you know, I thought, okay, I can compression test them and put them in there. Well, the first video review I did of the year, the Bridgestone, you saw me putting it in there and I actually doing it. The next video, I just told people what it was. And oh, dude, look at the comments of that video. The people were like, where is it? Well, what happened to it? Don't take it. Get it back now. You know, I'll unsubscribe. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll put it. So that's why it's in there now. People demanded it back. So it's hilarious to me, but I love it.
For those of you, again, that haven't watched Nick's channel, have a look. It's one of my favourite bits, Nick, because, again, if we go to marketing, what you get told isn't always what Nick discovers, especially when we go for the compression testing and he's got a little machine. Anyway, but it's not what you discover or what you're telling us, which, again, takes us back to, should we just carry on, do one video, Nick? And just
absolutely. Yeah, just keep it rolling. Yeah, no, we're on a good pace. Keep going.
All right. Yeah. So that compression tester. So I'll be honest. I've stolen some of your ideas for my channel, and I think stolen might be too strong a word. But for example, you started doing the sound test, and I love that. So I've started doing it because a lot of people speak about feel, don't they? How does the ball feel? How does the ball feel? And one of the contributing factors is, especially when you're putting, what's it sound like off the putter? And that gives you that, you know, for each individual, it's a different, some will like a click, some will like a thud. I personally prefer a thud. And it depends on, so I won't say I stole it. You inspired me, we'll say.
My ideas aren't patented. Nobody can steal them. So unless you're using the logo, I don't really care.
Well, I'm going to use the logo for the thumbnail for this, but other than that,
that's fine. Yeah, no, you have my permission for that.
Yeah. All right. Should we go into some of what I know are some of your I know your views in golf, but I think this or these topics. So I think they're so interesting that I'd love to go through them. And we're going to start with the controversial ones. Is that all right?
Yeah, no, let's go. I'm ready. I don't have to have a filter on here like I do on my channel. My channel's a family channel, but on here I can say whatever I want. So
mine is too, Nick. Trust me. Okay, but now let's talk about AI YouTube channels. The ones that you don't even hear a voice, like me and you. You know, I see you. And for those of you that don't see Nick, he will strike some balls, and you'll see him on a green hitting balls, and you'll see him doing the compression test. So you know this is real. What he's telling you is real,
right?
And then you get this YouTube channel, which you don't see a human. The voice is obviously generated. You can just listen. I use AI for my descriptions because my spelling is shocking. So rather than have loads of spelling mistakes on there, I use AI to help me. Hands up. Okay. But these don't use AI to help them improve. They're just made completely. I don't want to use the word fake because it may be too hard a word, but they're not real. We'll put it that way. And for me, and the question is this one, not only are they not real, having tested some of these balls, having watched you test some of these balls, the information they're given isn't real, isn't true.
No,
it isn't true. Yeah, not so much you, Nick, because you're you know, you're successful and you get a lot of views, but yet they're getting 5 times the amount of views that I'm getting. And when I review a video, a golf ball, it's taken me, you said 10 hours the other day when you do yours. Mine, I would say 4 hours maybe. Well, if you include the drive to the golf, okay, 5, call it 5 hours. And these people putting these videos together in what seems like 10-15 minutes, and they're getting 20,000 views for misleading people. That's my view.
So the thing is that AI, it is perfectly acceptable to use AI to help you. You've probably noticed a lot of my thumbnails have been AI generated recently because I'm not a photo. I mean, I went to college and learned how to do Photoshop, but I'll be honest with you, at this point, I don't have an extra hour or two per video to do all that. it's very easy for me to go to Canva and create a base of what I'm wanting and then take it into AI and say, hey, spruce this up, make it look cool with some smoke or something, and do that. And that does help the algorithm, and that's fine, right? And same thing with descriptions, right? I look, in order to get a good description on YouTube, it requires 3 or 4 paragraphs, lots of keywords. My chat GPT at this point knows what my channel is and stuff. And so if I say, hey, I'm looking for, a description on this ball, that's fine too. But you're right. The main thing is, are you actually putting in any effort to make the content? Because you're not. You're right. It only does take 10 or 15 minutes. These people are not passionate about golf. They're not passionate about any of that. They have 10 or 15 channels all going at one time. They go into chat GPT and they say, top 5 golf balls for slow swing speed. And whatever chat GPT thinks based on just looking at the internet for 5 seconds, it puts that into a video and then just releases it. And the information is sometimes really wonky. There was one recently I watched where every video told how much it weighed, like 0.61 ounces or 1.61 ounces. It's like the portability is great because you can put it in your pocket. It's like, we're talking about golf balls here? Like, but that's AI. And what people have to understand is one, it takes food and money out of the mouths and wallets of people like us who actually have passion for this and are trying to help people. And also it's just bad for business because it creates more false information. And now you got a poor guy out there who's like, well, no, the Pro V1X is great for a slow swing speed and for a guy who hits the ball really high in the air, because this video I watched online told me, well, that's not what everyone else said. And then it just creates this pool where everybody gets so confused. But yeah, no, it's something that, we're getting a lot into the voting with your wallet thing. There's a lot of people who've been telling me, hey, vote with your wallet. And I don't even mean politics. I mean in everything, what you buy, where you eat, everything, like your dollar matters. Well, YouTube, you may not pay to see videos, but what you click on matters. If you're telling YouTube, hey, I love this AI slop, it's going to keep showing it to you and it's going to keep promoting it to other people.
Yeah.
If you tell YouTube, hey, I know this guy Nick's doing 10 hours of video, but I don't know human element, I don't really agree with his testing. I mean, that's fine, but you're just hurting the fact that you've got someone here who's trying to help the community and trying to learn more and grow, and you're trading it for someone who doesn't even know what golf is, and just said 5 golf balls for a slow swing speed, I guess, and that's what you're supporting. And so, yeah, no, it's awful. It's terrible. I'm so glad YouTube has not only demonetized AI videos, but also is removing accounts that post them. So that's huge. That's why I'm on YouTube.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they've done 130,000 accounts so far. So that's the good news. But as a community, as people who watch this stuff, it's up to us to make sure. Even my son will sometimes come in with his tablet. He's 4. And he'll be like, look at this video I found. And it's like AI cats, and I'm like, nope, get it off. I don't care if you're 4. I don't care if whatever. I'm not supporting it. Find someone who shot a video of a real cat. I don't, and it just, that's kind of how, it's just how it is. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but vote with your views, man.
Oliver's the same. Oliver's 6 next month, and and I don't like it. I struggle to turning them off because he kills me, but he goes mental. But I get it, and it's just, do you know what? For me, right this minute, I'll be really honest. Right this minute, what you said about the money, for me, right this minute, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Well, for a start, I'm not monetizing it. Having said that, I'm only 320 hours away. So, but look, I haven't done it for that. However, once I get to it, I think I'm going to be chuffed, and I'm going to be watching how much, because it gives you a estimated whatever. Because I'm the first part. I've done the first YouTube part. Now I'm now working towards the 4,000. Did you know next year it's 8,000?
Really?
There you go. Yeah, YouTube has changed it. So I've got to do it before Feb. No, I'm joking. But
we'll get a view farm going. I'll have you on all 3 screens, and we'll just get a view farm going. We'll see what we can
do. But you're right though, because there are people like you who, and I know how much time it's taken me to do should we say, a field channel rather than what you talk. My channel's more about me improving, and I'm going to do lessons next year on stuff like that. But yours is a data-driven informative channel. Now, to get that data, you're spending, as you said, 10 hours for one ball. Bear in mind, Nick last year done 150 balls, right? It's like he said earlier on, you know,
Yeah.
10, that's 1,500 hours, right? Easy
It's a
maths.
lot.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's a lot of hours. And then you got some idiot, with all due respect to them, nicking your audience. And I find it really, I find it.
I give people like that grace. And you know what I've also discovered is that a lot of people just don't know. And it was so funny. I'll never forget. There was a specific guy who came on one time. He watched one video. This was about a year ago. He watched a video and he said, man, he goes, this is so stupid. He goes, you suck. He goes, I bet you anything I could beat you one-on-one if we go out and play. And I commented and I said, well, I bet you can. I said, my channel's to review golf balls from the average golfer's perspective. And his response was, oh, I'm very sorry. Well, have a great day. Yeah, that's great. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. He had no idea. And he was actually humble enough. Well, oh, okay. Well, then yeah, no, that's perfect. He goes, I didn't. So people come to the channel, they see one video and they just have no idea context. You know, it's kind of like picking up a book and just reading up one page from the middle of it and being like, well, that sucked. It's like, well, yeah, you don't know anything about what happened before it or what comes after. There's no context there. And so I've learned that when I get, those types of comments, which are very rare, I'm very blessed. The community's awesome. But when I do get those comments, it's whatever, you know what I mean? Like it is whatever. What was it the other night during the live? The guy mentioned something about, it doesn't matter what golf ball you play. And he called out a YouTuber who had played with a range ball, and shot under par, whatever. And if you remember, my response was, my response was, okay, well, if he played with a range ball and shot under par, well, I'm assuming that that's his gamer now, right? Because those are free. You could go to the range and just walk the sideline and pick up ones in the mud or whatever, and you don't have to pay for them and you can play. Oh, well, wait, that person doesn't. He plays with a Pro V1. Well, why? I thought they were all the same. So I don't understand the argument, right? Like if the argument is, well, they're all the same. So I get a lot of those comments too, but I'm able to debunk them so quickly because I just don't think people. I'm here to show what golf balls do, so that way you can fit yourself better. That's all it is. I'm just the frontman for the channel. I try to keep a lot of opinions out of it, and I think some people are like, "Man, this guy's so opinionated," and I'm like, "Well, not really. Have you ever seen some of these other channels? Like
you back his data."
Yeah, no, I try to let the data shine. Yeah,
I'm opinionated in my channel. I give my opinions. Yours is data.
Yeah.
And if they're all the same, spend, I think it's there. Yeah, spend 33p on a Donne, right? Or, I don't know, what's that? 28 cents on a Donne rather than $5 on a Pro V1. But no, you got your Pro V1 and you're paying $5 for a ball that when it lands in the lake, you ain't getting back.
Yeah.
Do what you like. But yeah, okay. Another topic that I know you've got opinions, and I agree with them. Just one last thing. Talking about that range, I done it on my channel, Nick. I tried to bust the myth. So I played a golf. I done Angels Golf in Life treatment of a range ball.
How'd it go?
Someone asked me, "Where'd you get the range balls from?" Yeah, I stole them. But yeah, it was awful. It it was awful. Yeah. It was just And there's no way that I can play. I don't know, a Seed 05, which is in my gamer right this minute, even though that may change. But there's no way. If you said to me $1,000, right, and you have to break, so I get 6 shots around my club. You have to go 6 over $1,000, and they said you can do, I don't know, not necessarily the SD05 or the Vice Air or the AVX balls that play well for me, or a range ball. You're never going to choose the range ball, are you? You're not.
Yeah.
And how did it go?
I will admit, I have met a couple people in my life. I would say it's like 90 to 10%, but I have met a few people who legit are like, it doesn't matter, and they're playing nitros or they're playing whatever cheap, like they're going on and buying used or whatever. And at least those people put their money where their mouth is. But 90% of people I talk to and they say like, well, it doesn't really matter. I'm telling you, man, I instantly am like, well, what do you play? And it's always like, oh, a TP5. Well, now wait a minute. If it doesn't matter, well, I like how they feel. So they're different then. It doesn't matter if even that's the only difference you think. If you think the feel and you're willing to spend the money on it, then they are different. The whole argument is squashed at that point. And it doesn't make sense to me.
When I started, I played Slazenger because they were really cheap.
Yeah.
And whatever I found around the golf course.
Mm-hmm.
It's only after a little while when I started to hit it properly and stuff that's when you need. Yeah, that's it. All right, how about this one, Nick? The RA and USGA banning balls such as MG Senior, the Bandit balls and I think they get banned because you know better than me. They get banned because they got too much velocity off the club.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, there's a variety of things. They can be too heavy, too soft, too fast, too long, I mean, my goodness, yeah, there's a million. I mean, there's like 6 or 7 key factors or whatever, but there's a lot that can be wrong with them. The main thing is the ball speed. That's the main one you see. Everybody's trying to get it within a certain allowance of that ball speed, which means they all pretty much have the same. Yeah.
So then it's 2 questions for me, 2 questions in one. So with them, one, I don't understand why they would ban a long golf ball for me and you. Right. Rory McIlroy, maybe. Me and you, not so much. But then do you think that, so both questions together, do you think they should be banned is the first part? But also with that, do you think technology's now reached the limit of them perimeters? Because how much more R&D can you do when you're squashed? You can't, you're here, right? And most, especially the big boys, but even people like Vice, Schneider, Seed, they're at the outer limit of that circle. So how much more R&D can they do?
Yeah, not much, because the first problem you run into is patents. A lot of golf ball companies have patents. And, like Bridgestone has a certain dimple pattern, Callaway has the hex, right? You can't copy that. And then you go to the inside of the golf ball. And so there's only so much you can do. But then the second layer of that is like what you touched on, right? Which is you have to limit it within these parameters. They can't be too fast. It can't be too this. And what happens is we saw the same thing with golf balls that kind of happened with clubs, right? Bryson DeChambeau recently, they asked him, hey, what's the difference between a 2008 driver and now? How much has the technology improved? And he said, honestly, not really that much. Like they go the same distance. He goes, but it's just forgiveness that's changed. And a lot of people on the internet freaked out, but then they kind of went back and did some research and found, well, no, he's actually kind of right. Like distance wise, it hasn't changed as far as ball speed, not to that level. But the forgiveness now is off the charts. You can hit it off the toe now and basically get darn near same ball speed as if you hit it in the center, which back in 2008, no, it was off the toe. It was turning your hands. It was stinging. It'd go like 100 yards and like you were screwed. Golf balls kind of were the same way, 8, 9, 10 years ago, they still did the same thing if you hit them pure. But when you mishit them, man, it could be all over. Your 7-iron, your best could be 185 and your lowest could be 160, and that's a 25-yard dispersion. That's crazy. You don't know it's going to, you slightly mishit the center and now all of a sudden you're chipping back into the green. So we've seen the technology in that area. And I think that some companies have gotten better about what the average golfer needs and what senior golfer needs and what women golfer needs. And I think we've seen a lot of, but that goes back into that marketing. But yeah, the big problem, man, is that if you have a race, right? And I said, who do you think is going to win this race? You might say, well, man, Ferrari and Lamborghini and Mercedes, those guys have been making race cars forever. They're the best. But if I told you, well, there's a cap, they can only go 200 mile an hour. Well, now it doesn't matter. Red Bull might win, because at that point, if Mercedes says, hey, we just did R&D and we found out a way to get a 230 mile an hour motor, our car can go down 230 is what it tops out at. Well, it doesn't matter. You have to limit it to 200. So now everybody just goes 200. It's just a battle of who's the best driver, right? That's all it is. Golf ball is very similar because now we're at a point where what do you, I've been saying for years, these direct-to-consumer companies and two-piece have caught up, and everyone's like, whoa, that's blasphemy, Nick. We can't say that. And I'm like, well, but again, what does it matter? If Titleist tomorrow says, man, we just found a new material, it goes 20 yards further, it doesn't matter. The USGA is going to kick it back and say, it's too fast. I'm sorry, it's too fast. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So now these direct-to-consumer companies have basically had 20 years to just catch up, to just do little improvements every year. And same thing with the two-piece models. You know, I'm now seeing two-piece models spin from 80 yards and further, spin the same as urethane. You know, I mean, I can get, I did the Amazon ball and it got 8,200 RPM, which was like top 30 for the year. Now top 30 out of 150 golf balls. So a lot. It really, My Golf Spy said it really well in their article yesterday. Money buys greenside spin because money buys urethane. And that has even gotten better, but I do agree with that. But now you can get Legato for $30 a dozen and it's got urethane and it checks, but it's turned into this marketing game because of that. So what we have is a bunch of guys who all just sign pros and come up with clever ways to, you know, I'm sure you know as well, one thing that bothers me is that a lot of the companies, even AAA companies, have just quit talking about what the golf ball actually is. They use very generic terms, you know. Instead of telling you 330 dimples and 90 compression, they're just like long distance, excellent spin.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds good, but yeah. So I'm right there. You're correct. I'm not a big fan of these USGA limits. I think they hurt golf balls, and I think that if they would allow the regular consumers like us to use whatever we want, we would have golf balls like Tiger Cliff, where Tiger Cliff said, you know what, we don't care about being USGA performing. We just want to make a really good golf ball. Well, now I hit that golf ball 10 yards further than every other golf ball, right? There's no downside to that golf ball for me because, you know, I don't have to sacrifice the distance off the tee because there's no USGA to conform to. They don't care. And if we had that type of technology, and that's with a direct-to-consumer brand new company, imagine what Titleist could do if they said, hey, you know what? We got 6 golf balls on the market, 7 golf balls. We're going to make one that just isn't USGA conforming. We don't even care. We're just going to make the best ball we can. Can you imagine how good that would be with the R&D money they have? It would be incredible. It'd probably go 30, 40 yards further. I mean, seriously, the sky's the limit.
And land and stop.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Land and stop, rip back 80 feet. Yeah. There's no telling. So, I mean, limit the pros. I get it. If you want to limit the pros, I don't care what you do to them. They make millions of dollars and they all got, you know, model wives and stuff. They can handle it. For me, however, no, I want to go out and have fun. I want to hit bombs. You know, when I was driving at 240, I'd have loved an extra 20 yards.
I said today at work, and I know you've got an appointment in a couple of minutes, so we'll wrap up. But I said today at work, someone said to me, golf is for snobs. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, hold on a minute. I'm no snob. That's the first thing. I said, but 2, did you know it's the largest participant? And I got stuck saying participant. More people play, and that's exactly the same happened at work. I got stuck with that word. More people play golf than any other sport. Mm-hmm. So it can't be just for snobs, can it? Well, it's really expensive. Can be.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be. Yeah. But we had that conversation. Well, I'm going to mention one thing that I'm going to, because as I say, I know you've got an appointment, but I use one line that I learned on your channel, but it wasn't from you. It was, you're going to have to forgive me, but I forgot the chap's name, Snyder. Mm-hmm. The interview you done with Snyder. And he said, I compare golf balls to the Pro V1 may be Ferrari's fastest Formula One car. So it's the best one out there, right? But I'm doing the school run and I'm taking the kids to school with the dog in the boot. So yes, the Pro V1 is a better car than my Honda Civic. But I need a Honda Civic because it suits what I need to do. So for me, with a slow swing speed, for example, it's no good me taking a Ferrari on the golf course because it's going to stall. Yeah, I'm better off with my Honda Civic that's going to get me to where I need to go with the way I'm going to drive it. Yeah. Pardon the pun. And I love that line and I use it all the time.
The greatest metaphor I've ever heard. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because when he told me that during the interview, I was like, I'd been for years trying to search for the right words, and that's the right words, 100%. And that's how ultimately golf balls are. So, so tell me, how many subscribers do you have?
1,000. I'm not obsessed, but 1,901.
Awesome. I love that. I remember my first 1,000, and then it just went up from there. Okay. So how many likes do you usually get on a video? I mean, just roughly.
14, 15, Nick, something like that.
14, 15. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you can get 50 on this one, let's do a part 2. We'll do another hour.
So, okay.
You think you can do it?
People, can I do it? It's not that I don't do it. I haven't got one of them factories that Nick was talking about earlier on. I haven't got 6 screens in my sitting room. So, friends, Nick's audience. By the way, I respect your audience, and I'm not saying this so they press like. It sounds terrible, but I join Nick's live question that he does every so often, every 3 or 4 months. You do it, don't you? And his audience were, and I did see that bloke challenge you, but other than that bloke that challenged Nick, his audience are fantastic. So big up, and Nick calls them golf ball addicts, my fellow golf ball addicts, and I'm proud to be one of them, Nick, by the way. But yeah, the great audience. I'm going to thank you, Nick, and I'm going to ask my subscribers and your subscribers, because this is going to come out on your channel too, to help me get the 50, because I'd love to do this with Nick again. And even then we can open it up so they can send me questions that they'd like me to ask you, because I know you do
Absolutely.
that with your interviews. So that would be great. But listen, good evening. It's 11:30 here. I'm in the UK. Nick's in Florida, as he said. Can I finish with my tagline? I don't know if you've heard my tagline.
Absolutely. No, go ahead. Yeah, hit it.
My tagline is, I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it, and I really have enjoyed making it. So please comment, like, and subscribe, because it will help. Oh, by the way, subscribe to Nick's channel. I promise you, those of you that haven't, you won't regret it. And it helps our channels, as Nick says as well. It helps our channel so much.
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like we got plenty more to talk about, my friend. So I hope it hits that 50, and then we can go to another hour. I look forward to it. All right.
Thanks, Nick.
All right, man. Have a good night. Get some sleep. All right. Bye-bye.